Yeah, welcome back to the firehouse for some more firehouse reasoning, from the ninth level, as I would say, ninth level of understanding. I think from the firehouse tonight, the firehouse is always trying to make people aware, human beings aware, and part of the awareness is to realize to yourself that you've been deceived for a long time, and this deception runs very deep. It's a part of your education that has been given to you is a part of this deception, what they call history. And whatever this history is that you are teaching in university, you know what I mean? Because as far as I'm concerned, I always like to, I am a man who deal with the truth, if you know what I mean. Well, as a ninth level soldier, you couldn't be dealing with nothing less than the truth, could you? Otherwise you could never set foot in the ninth house. So from the ninth house then, without even understanding none of what the human call history, without me understanding none of that, well, I do know a little bit here, but without me understanding none of that, from the ninth house, the creative energy created all humans being equal and give them intelligence. Now, are you going to tell me as human beings then, on the earth, that I and I, the black man from Africa, never had any intelligence? Because that is what it appears to show in history. Because in history, as according to what I can skim, this man has no achievement. He's never built nothing, and he's never had any wise men or anything like that. Well, if this is so, surely something must be wrong with God in it. Yeah, man. But really and truly, like I'm saying, if you have the time to roll over a few of the stones of what you've been told, about, say, as an example, who is the master of philosophy, like, they give you these people like Aristotle and Plato and Socrates, great Greek philosophers. When every single one of these great Greek philosophers, as a fact, get their wisdom from Egypt. That's where they learn in it. Even your brethren Aristotle in it. He had privy to the Library of Alexander in it. The Greek never write the Library of Alexander, the books that was in there in it. They went there and captured it. You know what I mean? But anyway, this reasoning is not about the discrepancy in history. Although one need to know these things. Because when you don't know these things, then it produces a lot of what I call racism. Or a lot of, you get a superiority complex. You know what I mean? So therefore now you will probably think that intelligence can only spring from a certain, what you would call racial group. It doesn't matter how much the fire lion try to tell you that God never created racial groups. It was idiots, I say, are those who is against the law of the one who come up with this idea. The law don't, everything in God's creation is one. So how could there be different racial group unless this was what I would call perpetrated by those who are ignorant? Understand what I mean? Also, no, there is none of this different, what you would call racial type and groups. And you've been educated to think this way, and you've accepted it, and therefore this breed all the different kind of racism or whatever ism whatever way it go in it, into the human soul, so that it cannot know itself, cannot know that we are all one. You know what I mean? And instead of you loving your brothers, like I said, because we are brothers, innit? You end up now one side hating the other and causing, and in this confusion, how can you know the truth? You going out studying philosophy and, you know, these kind of big things that I hear you studying and specializing in. And claiming that this man Plato or this man Aristotle and this man was the first to talk about this, and so is you teaching all these people in your university and all these kind of, well, which is obviously a lie, like I say, because you would never teach them the true source of where the knowledge. I won't call it wisdom, because I say that anything that is written down is no longer wisdom. Once it come out of the mouth in this atmosphere, I say it transform into knowledge. But you would never explain to these people where these great philosophers are, or thinkers or whatever you call them, where they get the idea for mathematics. You would rather say it was Pythagoras, I think that's what they call the brethren, who was the master of math. You know? When that civilization, Greek civilization, is a young civilization, in it, and Roman and all them civilization, you know. Ancient man in the bush, like I'm telling you, but because you have no respect for the bushman. Well, when I say the bushman, and the bushman don't have no respect for himself now, because he's accepted. It's like one side has been pretending to be superior and telling the other side that they are inferior. And both of you are, you know, so both of you fall into the same kind of ignorance, technically, without finding the balance. Because here you have it now, one man is sure that he is superior, and he's convinced the other man that he is inferior. Yeah, but as a fire lion, you know me, like I say, I have never yet considered myself. And when before I was 27, I never think about it anyway. Whether I was superior or inferior to anyone. And it never entered my mind seriously. But ever since after 27, when it does, when I thought about it, I have never thought of myself, right, inferior. Forget about man and earth, yeah, to any being in the creation. You know, I already know that I'm equal to beings on earth, then, so forget about them. Any being in the creation, I have never considered myself to be any kind of inferior being. No. And I have never considered anyone else to be either, for that matter. Because how can you if you want? You see what I mean? So like I'm saying there, as a 9th grade general, I don't need to know any of the science or study them. You know, I don't study anything like that. Like I tell you before, I'm just a one-dimensional being. I just study truth. And then you know that truth is the governor of all things in the universe. So I am the teacher of all without knowing nothing. You see what I mean? You don't have to know nothing. I don't need to know anything apart from the truth. Yeah? And then I will teach all of you who have got whatever you've got, whether you sing or dance or, you know, racing driver, ballet or scientist, or you say you're a philosopher, well, whatever you are, man, I teach it all. And yet I don't know none of the things, because like I tell you, I can't do nothing. Practically, yeah, man. But any man who's doing anything practical, I teach them as well. As a fire. That's how that's what I call the miracle of the terrible and dreadful one, you know. And well, you see the 9th grade now. How can I try and explain the 9th grade to you? But let's say the 9th grade was like when you give birth. But first you have to get the woman pregnant for to give birth. Yeah, well, that's what the 9th grade is now. And you need the sperm to impregnate the woman. Well, let's say that every being on earth is a sperm. Yeah? And the whole purpose of a sperm is to give life or create new life, if you know what I mean. So everyone is supposed to be heading towards a new life. You see, but you know that some sperm, just like I tell you when it was coming out the birth passage, when the process first begin, some sperm never make it to the end. Not some, a lot of them never make it, man, you know. Only you who is living make it out of all those millions of sperm who was heading for your mommy's egg. Yeah, well, once you come out again, we are now in the process for another birth. And all those beings, millions are heading, your sperm heading towards the egg. That is going to hatch and bring you to the 9th level. But you know, some sperm, I say, you know, they come out now and they get lazy, you know, they start investigate. They forgot that the process of life was to give birth. You see, or to achieve this birth again. So they give up the thing. So they don't, a man who reach the 9th level now is like I tell you, a sperm who hatch an egg and produce a new life. A new life force, then have you new baby, I call it, new idea. You see what I mean? So at the 9th grade general now, once you reach the 9th, once you produce this, you impregnate the spirit and give birth now. You don't need no like I say, no backup. Either from history, you see, or from any great master who has gone before her, you know what I mean? Or whatever it is that they have said and how they said it. Because like I tell you, if all the great masters who has gone before, no matter how great they are, could be greater than greater cake. That's why we say we have a cake in Jamaica called greater cake. They could have been greater than greater cake, yeah? If they come in the fire in this time, they will simply have to listen to what the 9th grade general is saying. Well, even if they're not here now, they're on the other side then. Let's say they're on the other side, yeah? Well, they are there listening intently. Maybe even what we call jumping and having somersault when they hear the 9th grade general delivering the word of the terrible and dreadful God that dwell within all human beings, living or dead. This dimension or the next, any dimension. Yeah, all the dimension is vibrating when them hear the general from the 9th grade speak the truth as it was. You know, not no like I tell you, no half joke truth. We don't burn out of our mother, right? Like I tell you, 9th grade general is so serious, man. I don't burn out of my mother, yeah. If you come and talk anything or guess at any truth. If I never find no truth in the world, well, that's a different thing. But once we know the truth, we know the full truth, not no little half truth, you know. The full truth. The truth that is for all, not just for some. The truth that, like I tell you, will definitely rip out the heart of ignorance. Ignorant, you shall feel the pain of the word of the fire lion. Especially if you are those bunch of ignorance, like I say, who like to farm yourself up into groups and feel so puff up in your little religious group or your little race group, whatever group you want to farm yourself up and gain some physical strength. These are the most cowardly kind of human beings, I say. You know? If you was a truthful human being, man, then you would be walking with God, innit? And God would be your strength. And you would die in the ways of God then, innit? You wouldn't need them, because God is not a group of people, so you wouldn't have to feel safe when you are with a group of people, or feel safe that you have to agree with the ideas of a group of human beings that you have not personally and sincerely checked for yourself and come to your own understanding that yes, this is right and correct. You know what I mean? But these are the kind of things that, like I say, one would have to do if one want to reach the 9th level and teach the teachings of the one. For those of you, like I say, who do not want the teaching or want to comprehend the teaching of the one, no problem. Because I am not your creator. I am not the one who gives you choice. You can exercise your choice at your own will. But I know what will happen to those who go against the will, though, of the one. You see what I mean? Because like I tell you, there's consequences to action. So you have to be real sure within your mind when you are given life and you come to a certain understanding on this planet and moving about. You better be 100% sure in your mind, man, that, yeah, man, I know there's consequences to this evil action, that I should be punished, but I can take that punishment. I'm a big woman, I'm a big man. I can take whatever is coming to me. You know, and you are fully conscious and aware. Because at the end of the day, I know for myself that even though what you think is consciousness and awake, most human beings, is actually the dead state of life. You haven't yet woken up. You know what I mean? But because you are going to work then, and you know somebody say, you, and you know, you're watching television, you are under the impression that you are living life. How can a dead person live life? That's why I say it baffles me sometimes, you know. But just because, hold on. This is where the paradox of life, I think, baffles the human soul. Because just because you only associate death, we are living in a 2-dimension. Yeah? So you only associate death with when you see a man lying in his coffin. Yeah? But no, my friend. You are actually dead until you come to certain understanding, if you know what I mean. And the reason why you're dead is because if your eyes are closed, you are blind. Understand? And if you cannot understand certain things in life, that means your eyes are closed. Now, what usually keep the eyes of beings closed is action, your behavior. You see, all these things come. You see, I don't understand it. Yeah. You must think thoughts are just coming in your head. Yeah, and every thought that come in there, you must run and do it and grab to it and think without any responsibility. Or unless you think like these idiots, call them idiots, are trying to convince you that this universe is just random, you know what I mean? No intelligence. There was a big bang, boom, and everything just set itself, yeah? And you have a man like the fire lion now, sitting here telling you about the terrible and dreadful God that dwell within. So even that God was an accident that I am talking about. Or like I say, every time I use the word God, I have to tell you that I know that you are worried about it then, but they say conscience. You think to yourself that there was a big bang accidental, yeah? And then conscience start dwelling in every human being who has ever lived and is likely to live and is living now. and that memory accidentally appear in all of them who ever lived and is living now and is likely to live in the future. All that is accidental, you reckon. Well, when a man is not or a woman, please ladies, if you hear me say, when I'm speaking man, it's just a term of speaking, but it means woman as well. Being. When you are not using, when you are not in control of your own faculties, you can think anything. You know, when you are in darkness, when your eyes are closed, when you are a dead person, You can believe anything. You know what I mean? And they do. And trust me, it is not living beings who are in control of the planet Earth. It is dead souls. Souls who are fully ignorant then. You know, like say if you could have a man and you say, oh, this man is fully enlightened. Well, you have some beings who are fully ignorant. And it is you, fully ignorant beings, who are running the world. You are fully ignorant. And unfortunately, most of the people, you've dumbed them down with your ignorance. So they cannot see that they've been led by ignorance. They are still thinking that ignorance is respectable. And somehow, the difficulty that they find themselves in on the planet Earth, they still believe that ignorance will somehow work it all out. Ain't that unbelievable? How can ignorance work out the solution and the problem of life? No, it is not possible for ignorant human beings to do this. Because how are you going to do it when you're in ignorance? The only type of human that can do it is a human that is honest and truthful. You know, and yeah, only an honest and truthful human being. It doesn't matter where the human being is on the planet, you know, because truthfulness and honesty, right, is not the property of anyone. It's not owned by Rastas or Christian or Muslim, Buddhist, whatever you want to label and call yourself. Honesty and truthfulness is not your property, is it? No one have to come to you seeking it. Human being are so dumb. These qualities lie within all, you know what I mean? The terrible and dreadful God is in all. And those are the qualities of God. So the qualities of God is everywhere in every human being. Every human being can access these qualities and put them into practice. If they don't do so, it's simply because they don't want to. Or because they've been deceived. I don't know, you know what I mean? But it's an international thing, isn't it? You see what I mean? That is the teaching that is coming. The teaching of the 9th level of understanding, if you know what I mean. But obviously, like I say, due to certain prejudice within the human soul, then you find it difficult now to accept these teachings from the fire lion. Just because, like I say, look like a black man in it. And you know that black man cannot, as well, you've been educated to think that way, that what they call it now, I think they'll call it spirituality, or intellectualism. Them big words that you use anyway. You don't think the fire lion could be capable of these kind of thoughts. No. We are capable of thoughts far beyond your mind. Your little intellectual mind, like I say. I have a mind as well. Mine is not just the property of you, is it? I have a mind as well. You see? And no one, like I tell you, have authority and truth. And yet here you have a situation as if it's only a certain group of people who know this truth. I mean, as an example then, just say the Roman Catholic Church then. How come it's only European, and it's only lately them have a man from Germany and one from Poland. Before all of the man them had to come from Italy. So that means no China man don't have any chance, or no man from down India. Never mind one from down Africa there. You understand what I mean? So what kind of bias is God showing? Well, obviously these things are not godly things. These are what beings do when they are down in the bottomless pit of confusion. And you have to be in the bottomless pit of confusion because your eyes are not open. You are dead. And because you know, like I say, produce the computer and a rocket to fly to space and some other gadget, you now think that you are achieving something in life. But you ain't achieving nothing in life. Because the only thing you can achieve, the only time anyone can achieve anything in life is when they know love. And sure, love is not a warmonger. Love would be making all these missiles that you are making, or teaching people how to make missiles to go and kill other people. If your Prime Minister was a man of love, he wouldn't have gone abroad selling weapons to human beings, or encouraging them to buy the best of British weapons so that they can kill more sophisticatedly. That ain't love. I don't know what these human beings call love anyway. You never know anything about love. You just equate love to a man and a woman. That's not love. That's passion or something like that. You know what I mean? Love care for everyone. And think about everyone. And the rights of everyone. Not just itself. Or its immediate relative. That's not love. That's not... You want to refine and purify love. Love that can feel for all and think for all. You see? Wish for all and hope for all. You don't deal with any little partial love. You know what I mean? So, I don't know how come then these great, what you would call teachers, or scientific masters then, since you've been at, how come they haven't been teaching equal rights and justice then, if you put it down? Which should have been the root of their teaching. Because unless you understand equal rights and justice to the fullest, you haven't got any intelligence. You've got out-intelligence. What you call negative intelligence then. You know? Yeah, positive and negative intelligence. So you have a lot of beings now who are negatively intelligent. Just because you produce computer, like I tell you, doesn't mean that you are spiritually right. Or just because Einstein find out about certain things, doesn't mean that he did know the terrible and dreadful one. Because if he did, he would have teach that over what he knew scientifically. You see what I mean? If you know God to the fullest. You see what? That's the only way you can be fully intelligent, Because God is the intelligence. When you become aware of this. If you are not aware of this, you are just intelligent. Not in. Intelligence is a different thing. So all these, like I tell you, these people that they are telling you about, oh, they're great, and you are following them, and you think that they are the master of this, that. You need to go and check these people's life. Like I tell you, whether they call them Aristotle, whether they call them Plato, Socrates, are the greats that they give you from Roman history to all this. And find out, right, exactly where these great philosophers, like they say, get their wisdom. Because some of them are claiming to write all 400 books. Pan about 40 different subjects at the same time. When you know that one man could never live and do all that in a lifetime. But yeah, they can go and copy it and claim that it was theirs. As if thinking only began when the Greeks come about, innit? Before the Greeks, right, men couldn't think. It was the Greeks that went down to Egypt and built the temple them down there. They wasn't existing before Greek times. The Egyptian or the Ethiopians, they wasn't existing before Greek times. It was the Greeks that developed all the thinking about medicine, everything, man. You have that in your head. But you need to get such a idiocy out of your head. But like I say, as a fire lion, because I don't know much about the history myself, I don't really want to teach anything about history as such, because I don't care. I am a truth teacher. Current. You know what I mean? When you are a 9th level teacher, like I say, I don't have to worry about history or what. Because the whole process of life is to discover the truth and to teach it then. Understand? Impart it to others. And once you are doing that, you don't need to know truth is not history. Truth is current. Let those who are history or who like to study history tell you about history. But I am not a history teacher. So I don't talk about history and them kind of thing then. You'd rather say, no man, I'm a teacher of God, man. So my job as a 9th level general is to teach the human being about God. You see what I mean? And for you to know God, my friend, or for your eyes to open, you have to take action. The action you are going to take depends on what you are doing in your life. So what you need to do, human, whoever hear the voice speaking, is to be honest with thy own self. Think about the things that you're doing. Of course, your own self will be showing you what are the right and wrong. And when your own self show you that you are a little devil, like I say, make correction. When you make correction, you are on the way to understanding, or you are on the road to opening up your eyes. But if you don't make this correction within your little dirty self, then you are going to remain dead. You don't understand? The living dead. Only action. So those souls who are not willing then to undertake the action cannot know the one that I'm talking about. And like I tell you before, I am not a soldier from 7th level, innit? I'm 9th grade general. The depths of understanding, you know what I mean? You ain't going past the number 9. General. This is the last level. Even the name that we use in this time for the one, Rastafari. 9 letters in that. Terrible and dreadful. Fullness. The limit. You understand? So 9 in case you in a limit, like I say, which is the limit of a man understanding or a being. And when you go there, when you arrive down there, you see the one, the supreme, you see things as it is. You know, the one that was in the beginning there now. That's what the 9th grade level soldier apprehend when you reach the 9th level. But to reach the 9th level, like I say, you have to be like what people say, mad. Because you have to be mad not to do what they are doing. Yeah, because everyone is doing that. And when you decide that you are not doing it now, they say that you are mad. So yes, I and I is a madman, you know. I don't do what other humans are doing. And I don't like to think how they are thinking. And I am not willing to be educated by them either. Because I do not trust them. You know what I mean? Like I say, prefer just, because I encounter something different. Better just trust in that one alone. Yeah? And when I am trusting in that one alone, I find that that one instill enough confidence in me to like I say, shut any devil. When I say shut them, I mean with lyrics, words, speak the truth to them. It doesn't matter, like I say, if there is a billion of them, who cares? You know? Who cares what wise book you got or whatever? Because like I know, ain't no way you can be wiser than the one. Nah, man. Even like I tell you, that's why I tell you before that if all the wise men who ever come out of their mother come back in the fire now, them, well, they just sit and listen in it. But likewise, if they decide to speak and listen to what they have to say as well, you know? But trust me, they haven't got nothing to say what the fire lion can't tell you. And even tell you beyond what they're telling you as well, you know. Oh yes, that's how terrible and dreadful it is when you enter firehouse. You, like I say, you are at the limit. Here, I don't know if you can grasp any higher when they come and remove you, you know. But when you are in the physical here now, Your spirit then, as we say, can only rise to the 9th level. You know? And you could only ever rise to the 9th level if you was a very fearsome soldier of truth and rights. You know what? When I say you was a fearsome soldier, I mean one who loved what is right more than anything else in the whole of creation. You know, like say you was thinking about heaven and all the glorious things that was in heaven, or if you think of earth and all the nice things that is on earth, that you love what is right more than all that, no matter what is in heaven and what is in earth. Could you love the truth like that? And then the truth is something that you cannot see as well. You know what I mean? Yeah, but soldiers, that's how you have to be if you want to enter firehouse, then as it was, 9th level. Because these are for the lovers of truth and rights. That house, that's what it only deal with that, innit? 9th level don't deal with anything, any division of anything at all. There is no division in the 9th house. You see what I mean? In 9th house, everything is oneness. That's why everything get burned up in firehouse. You don't understand down there. Yeah, man, in firehouse you see all well, like I tell you, in firehouse you see things like in the beginning, light spring out of darkness, and it have to do that in there and again, innit? You know what I mean? So maybe that's why in there, what they call history, they are trying to hide the achievement of the ancestors then, to prove that they never achieved anything. When actually they might have, they know that these was great spiritual masters. Well, why you think God is going to create beings then, like I tell you, and don't give us intelligence? Don't be stupid. That's totally ridiculous. But anyway, doesn't matter what went on before, the 9th grade soldier, like I say, is not concerned with that. The way of the 9th grade soldier is to reveal the way of oneness to all human beings. Now this way is within all human beings, just a matter of connection, like I say, through living honestly. And you know what I mean? It's no use, like I say, leaving whatever country you're coming from, coming to England, or if you was already in England, following the ways of these people, because it is not correct. Your leaders are corrupted, devilish souls. And you are admiring devilish souls, voting for them, putting them in authority of power, and all these kind of things. You've been tricked. Your religious organization, outwardly, is a brainwashing institution that keep the souls of man ignorant. God never created you to be like that. Otherwise, He wouldn't have given you your own individuality with your own mind and capacity to think. But obviously, very few want to think for themselves. You know what I mean? But like I tell you, it would be better if you take responsibility for yourself, because each man is going to get what is due to them. And you won't be able to blame and say, oh, it was because he was walking down that road why I walk down that road as well. Because you had your own choice, you could have turned back in it. You see a man walking over a cliff, who said that you had it to do it? Who there's no compulsion for you to do such things. Not when you're willing to take responsibility. You know what I mean? So 9th grade soldier, like I say, I don't teach with no mercy for no human being anywhere at all. I just tell you plain and straight, which is the living truth, that no human being, not even God, never mind human being, is responsible for your sins, apart from you. And when we're talking about sin, we're talking about wrong action. Because every being knows what sin is. The minute you do something which is against the other, your own self-allergy, that true feelings and things, so you know what's wrong. No one don't have to teach you what's wrong. You know what I mean? I'm saying that you are the only one who is responsible for this. So if there's any wrongness going on in your life, you are the one doing it, innit? You are the one who's the liar, or the cheater, or who is jealous, who is greedy, who is selfish. So only you can put a stop to these things. Putting a stop to these things open one eyes to the other reality of life, the eternity of life. You see what I mean? The understanding that there is no death in life. When one is understanding this now, you know that you have to take responsibility. Because life is not just random and accidental like I'm telling you. There is intelligence in life, you know. Now, I'm not going to tell you that I know completely how the intelligent work. Because how could you know how God works, brethren? I tell you, God is here, there, and everywhere. I can't figure that out, and I don't try to figure out how the one works. I just know that the one exists for 1,000 trillion, billion, zillion %, and a lot more billion on top of that as well. Certain. But how the one go about its business and let things happen and do, I don't know, because I don't know God do. You know what I mean? You see, you know you can know someone and don't know the one. Well, that's how I am. I know God and I don't know God. That's how 9th grade level soldiers are. Madmen. You see what I mean? I don't know nothing and know something. And how I know the something that I know, I don't know. Only God knows that, because God is a magician. And I don't try and figure out his magic. Suffice to say, my job is only to try and open the eyes of those who are dead. You know, how many men try to open dead man's eyes before and they kill them and beat them up. Because dead men are very ignorant and violent. Even dead men have their what they would call religious institution, the outward form. And if you should ever say the wrong word against their superstar, if they possibly can get you, they kill you. You know, because ignorant people are ignorant people. And they act ignorant and behave ignorant. So therefore, they think that they have to kill somebody for God, or say somebody disrespect God then. You know, say I was telling somebody about, I said, no, there's no God, man. Fuck God, man. You know? And then I would go and kill them because, oh, you shouldn't have disrespect God. But it is the man right if he want to disrespect God, innit? I never created him. God did. God give him the right to disrespect God if he wants to. So I don't have to go and kill anyone who I might deem to be disrespecting God and are deemed not, say they're not following the way of God. If you want to disrespect God until the day that you're dead, well, no problem, you know. Because that is your prerogative. It's not the prerogative for another human being to come and kill you because you decide that you're going to disrespect God. You know, maybe they could reason with you and tell you that it is unreasonable to disrespect God. But at the same time, it is still your right as an individual, I say, to disrespect God. You can disrespect God, in fact, you can disrespect God more than you can disrespect me. Because if you slap me in my face now, I ain't going to take it like how God take it, you know. I'll slap your back straight away, you know. So, you can get away with disrespecting God more than you could with me. Because if you step on my toe, you know what I mean, that hurt, and maybe I'll let you know that it hurt. So, no, you are free. Any human is free to disrespect God. And they've done so freely. Because we are living in a world, trust me man, where human beings disrespect God big time. No respect for the creative energy. Devil is in control of your mind so much, I say, that you pay homage to wickedness and wicked men, and glorify wicked men, and belittle, if you do know a righteous man, you belittle the righteous man, and belittle his words. You know, and rather glorify the words of wicked. Nobody sell more books, I say, than devilish people. I say, man, what you call him, atheist, Mr. Dawkins or Hawkins, they say his book selling the millions. And others amongst you who write a load of garbage, your book selling the millions. Those of you who are singing idiotic music, you get famous. Anyone on the planet, in fact, the more you contribute to negativity, the more you like fame. The more you can be famous here, the more you help evil, the more famous you are. Because you are doing your bit to keep ignorance in a state of power then, or dominance, you know. So those who act, because ignorance feed off the energies of ignorance. So the more human beings are ignorant, the more energy, if anything, and if you are good at being ignorant, the ignorance reward you by making you what they call a prominent member of society. But all this is an illusion. All this is an illusion. You know, none of these prominent people that they are trying to feed to you as role model. Coming back again, like I say, to the Jimmy Savile scenario. Here, for those of you outside of England, Jimmy Savile was a famous celebrity here in England. Passed away last year. You know, very, very famous celebrity in England. But they was finding out now that Jimmy was a pedophile, molesting young girls and young boys. And he was hiding behind his great charity work, collecting charity all over for hospital, children home and all these places. But these was the very places that he was abusing his victims. In vulnerable, though he was preying on the vulnerable, yet pretending to be a kind and general. But like I'm saying, he's just an example of the whole society. Planetary wise, most beings are hypocrite. They're not honest and truthful. They haven't got the time to live honest and truthful. I say to myself, I say about, well, some of the monk, them, and they take it to the extreme anyway, monk and nun. So I say they are mad. It's another form of sexual madness. But I would say 99% of the human cannot control their sexuality. And sexuality is one of the chief things that will blind you and keep you in ignorance. You know what I mean? Because you don't know how to control. Life is about balance and control. Well, no wonder some soldier could never reach the 9th level. Balance and controlling whatever you're doing, you know what I mean? So the danger, I show you a danger that line what you call promiscuous sex. You have to tell too much lies. Lying is a thing that blind the soul, keep it in ignorance. So all of you who have girlfriend here, girlfriend there, you have to be lying to them all, innit? Unless your girlfriend has some perverted sicko who says, no man, you can have some more girlfriend and we'll be with you, you know. I suppose they have sick women like that. Well, if you have sick men, so I say most of the women are sick and most of the men are sick. In that sexual, you know, cannot control. So these things need to be controlled. You know, whether it's sexual, temper, greed, hate, you know, moderate. Without doing such things, my friend, your eyes are going to remain permanently closed, living in ignorance. That when you hear the truth, you won't hear it. You know, because you'll be deaf. As you come right back to the parable of those who have ears to hear, yet they do not hear, and eyes to see, yet they do not see. These things happen to people who are in ignorance, who refuse to change their ways. Those who believe that there is no meaning in life and that there is no consequences to an action, so therefore you can come here and live immorally. No, you are supposed to come here and live moral. Not immorally. Moral. In and out. So instead of you holding on to the positive, which is the moral, you fall on to the negative, which is the immoral. So you end up being immoral. And if you are immoral, you come right back to him and tell you must be blind. So you tell me now how any immoral human beings can be leading another human being to the truth. No, they can't. You understand? And if you wasn't immoral, you would never set up a religious congregation, would you? If you was a moral being, you would just speak the morality that you know. Simple, innit? And do you have to perform a ritual to know morality? Would you have to light a fire, right, or a candle, or, you know, say some prayer, I don't know, and incense to know what is wrong and right? Oh no, you wouldn't have to do such things. You don't have to perform no ritual. The only ritual you have to perform to know what's wrong and right is to stop doing the wrong that you're doing. That's a very good ritual. Stop doing the wrong that you know, like if you're going somewhere and you're stealing, stop doing it. Don't go and burn a candle or even pray to God or do anything. Just look at what you're doing and stop it. Yeah? So after you stop that and you find any other faults within yourself, if it's hate and whatever, work on it. The less you do it, right, the more your eyes will open. One day your eyes will open and you won't even know how it's open. You will just become like a man who was unfit and he's training, and then when he's training his body is hurting, and then one day it stops hurt. You know? And he just feels very fit. That's what will happen to you. But this thing have to be done through self, not through a group. You know, like a group of you know what I mean? You have to make, because the group cannot see what you are like inside anyway as an individual being. I speak to the individual being, not to a group. Because in the secret of your heart, no group cannot see in there. The only one seen into your heart and mind and soul is the terrible and dreadful one, my master. And I know that for sure because I'm a 9th grade soldier in it. And trust me, believe it man, 9th grade soldier is the baddest general who move about in creation. So that means we are bad not only on earth but anywhere in creation. Real bad soldiers of God. You have to know God fully to be an... But you can't know God fully, shouldn't tell you that, man. But you have to know a part of God then, you know. The known. Alright, some. God is so awesome. You don't need to, just a little bit. You just, you know, you need a little bit, that's what you know what I mean. Cut it back down, man. You need a little, know a little bit about God to be a 9th grade soldier. Not even a 9th grade soldier could comprehend the mighty and terrible one, man. That one is too mysterious and daunting for even the imagination or the mind of the 9th grade soldier to penetrate the depths of that one. But nevertheless, I know that one. You know what I mean. So that's why I can be so 3,000 trillion billion and lot of that % confident when I'm ramming lyrics down human being, whether living or dead. I know that what I'm saying is right and correct. Yes, man, it's literally like I say, you see the say the light here, and you take a mirror and reflect the light. The mirror can't tell no lie. The mirror is right. So even though those who are hearing the words of the fire lion don't believe it is the full truth and rights, it is the full. Because you can't get any higher than a 9th level, a 9th grade flyer, I say. So anything at all, I say in my own mind, anything at all the 9th grade soldier say is right and correct and truthful and honest. Yes, man, before God and man and angel, man, or before living man and dead, all through creation. And if you in the 9th house, that's all you could ever do anyway. Speak the truth of the living one. Because it's the living one who brought I and I to the 9th house. I never walk there on my own, you know. I'm under guidance from the terrible and dreadful one that I'm telling you about. And that's why I don't fear no one. 7 billion people on the planet and I don't fear them. And when I say I don't fear you, I don't mean physically, you know. I know you, lots of man could beat me up and mash me up, man, and shot me, man. I don't mean, you can always kill me that way, man. I mean in reasoning about what is right and correct. I mean in understanding or in what you would call wisdom. No man, we shot any boy with that. You and your book, you and your wise book. Fire Lion have no fear of that, man. That anyone could ever come and contradict the fire. No man, no one cannot come and contradict a Fire Lion, man. No soul who has ever come out a woman. Well, you can do it, you know, but all you're doing is contradicting the terrible and dreadful one, which people dismiss that every day anyway. Not a problem. So yeah, I mean, I'm not, when I say you cannot contradict the Fire Lion, you can. Well, loads of people tell me that I'm a mad person anyway. But ignorance can do anything. I'm on about the real truth. Everyone should know it then. You can, no one would ever contradict. They can't. The only people who can contradict the Fire Lion are those who are ignorant and dead and will living in a place where most people are dead anyway. So of course most of them will contradict the word of fire. Yeah. But the word of fire cannot be contradicted in reality. So in true reality I cannot be defeated by no one. No being anywhere in the universe. No man, not when you're living by truth, man. No, you understand. And don't forget, you know, I am not the truth, but I know the truth. So like I'm telling you paradoxically, I'm not saying you can't shot me or kill me, but you can't defeat truth, can you? Because truth resided in all human beings, even the wicked man who is coming to kill I and I. Truth is in him, you know what I mean? Because truth is I and I master. You don't understand who my master is yet, fully. I don't think the human being grasp it, even though I've been telling them over and over about the terrible and dreadful one that dwell within. Secret dweller. More better, it would be more appropriate if we use the word conscience to these human beings on the planet here now. That's who my master is. That's who I know fully. Not half-heartedly, you know. About, like I tell you, lots of guarantee trillion and billion plus billion and trillion. Every time I don't like to say 100%. Enough surety that this one is dwelling in all human beings, living, dead, or to come. Now who that one is, how should I know who that one is? Like I say, how could anyone mind figure out a power that is everywhere at once? In everyone. Not everyone could talk to at once and reason with. How could any being... You want me to drive myself crazy? I just like to admire the power and movements of the one, if you know what I mean. And laugh to myself and boy, there's no way you could get your head round such a force and magic. But then again, like I say, the one is a magician. And work his magic in mysterious ways. Wondrous ways, you know what I mean? Well, I never know how wondrous the one was and that the one is the work of magic until I encounter the one myself, you know what I mean? Because I never know the one all my life. The one know me like, you know, everyone all their life, but I never did know the one. I know about the ways of the one until I encounter the one myself. And the one is the one who is educating I and I about the ways of the one. So I don't have no fear, like I say, when people tell me about, oh Jesus, and I care about them, man. They are not the truth, just like how I am not the truth. But I can reflect the truth and anyone can do it. So this is what the Fire Lion is a teacher, I know, who teach everyone to reflect the truth. And that's how we say we will destroy all teachers, including the Fire Lion, and reveal who the true teacher is. Thy own self, the terrible and dreadful overlord that dwell within. You see what I mean? His representation, like I say, is outside the sun. And he's like a sun inside. He's a light, the giver of light. And no one can get light unless they get it from that one that is dwelling within. I and I master. You understand? The oneness. So that's why I'm teaching of one universe, one earth. On the planet Earth you have one race of people living, human beings, even though they don't know this. Within them all there is the one spirit that watch them all. That's the spirit that the fire lion call. That terrible and dreadful one, Rastafari. You understand? So when a man hear me saying Rastafari, I don't think I say Rastafari for a joke, you know. No, man. I say Rastafari serious. You see what I mean? Because I know what Rastafari mean. And I've already explained the name to you, Rastafari, and the fullness of it, and the 9 letters that it contains. So when I say Rastafari, don't bother think I'm not dealing with no imaginary being anyway. I'm dealing with the spirit that dwells within both man and woman. Babies and things, you know, and boy and girl and everything. That is the spirit that I'm dealing with. That I know for certain is the conquering lion, if you want to call that one. So that's why when I know that spirit, you think I'm going to look up to any man who come out a woman, boy? No, man. I cannot bow or do anything like that. Because I know, trust me, 9th grade soldier, killer. We don't bow. You know, we deal with the truth. With that, you say, we look a man directly in the eyes when we're dealing with truth and right. You understand? No, we don't look down or look up. Directly. We deal with equality for all. Not just for some, but for all. Every being that move within the ways of truth and rights. You know what I mean? And any man who see the truth will see this and know this. But for you to see this and know this, like I say, whoever you are, wherever you are, you have to look into what you're doing. And if you find out that what you're doing is not correct, you must make correction. Without making correction, you are going to just live and die. Oh, you're already dead anyway. And then when you reach the other side, like I say, when you think that that was the end of that, no, it's not the end, the beginning of that. Because like I tell you, magic, life carry on, you know. So when you are doing things and you think that there is no consequences to hating your brother, or to stamping on his head, or to making sure that he don't have any food to eat, or to deny him shelter, deny him whatever you deny him, or killing him, beating him, and you think that there is no consequences to these actions, you are joking, my friend. Just like I tell you, these who are running the world at this particular time, the British and the American and the rest of European and the Russian and Chinese and Japanese, those with real power on the planet, if they think in their idiotic soul that there is no consequences to their action, apart from if they escape their little goons that they put in black coat and call them judge, if these judges don't pass any sentence on them, they've got away with it. Well, I've got good news for you. I don't know if it's good news. I've got bad news for you. You ain't going to die. All those souls that you've killed, all those people that you've put sanction on while you're sitting eating your fat belly, and you in America, and all those souls who you are an accomplice to a very grave crime against humanity. And you are an accomplice to that crime. And the crimes that are committed against humanity is being recorded on memory. Nothing cannot be forgotten. What has been done or what's continued to be done. And I'm saying all these atrocities, there is consequences to it. One must pay. You see what I mean? I don't know how. It baffles me anyway. Why you think you can just come here? It must be because of what your scientists tell you, that life is just a big bang. So because you have these idiots who you are labeling scientific genius, which I would label scientific idiots, outward matter, they just know about matter, has convinced you that no man, we study the outside, yeah, and it was sufficient enough we find out that it was only some big bang thing that went on. So there is no consequences to, you can carry on raping, sexing, murdering, and living in the depravity that you love living. Because at the end of the day, when the mighty death come for you, because their scientists don't seem like they can find a way to escape death. The wicked would love it. When you're wicked, you would love it if you could find a way. But trust me, your scientists won't be finding no way to defeat death. You know what I mean? So your idiotic scientist has convinced you in his idiotic way, you know, that, oh yeah, man, there's Big Bang, man, and when you're dead, you're dead. But I'm giving you the opposite, because life is an opposite, innit? It's never good to just listen to one side of the story. There's always a in and out, a yin and a yang, a left and a right. You know? A death and a life. To life, if you know what I mean. So what I'm saying now, he's giving you all these stories. No man, nothing don't go like that. I'm giving you the opposite. Say yes man, and the opposite, yeah. You can't die. Life is eternal. Don't ask me how it is eternal, you know, because I wasn't the one that made it eternal. It was made eternal by the terrible and dreadful one that is dwelling within all human beings. Because that one is a magician. If one can put memory in all human being who is living, surely that one can make you live, make you appear to die and live. You know, that one is magical. So yes, that one does make it appear as if you die, but you won't die, just physically. You are going on to a next life. Nothing in this universe dies. Can never die. But for some reason, well, the reason must be because they want to rule over you. Your government, your institution, your religion has set up itself to rule. So they have been denying you the facts of who you are, or denying you the knowledge. Maybe you should break into the Vatican and find out what they got down there. I really go in the British Museum and look at every single bit of item and ask them where they get it from and what it really means, and you'll find out some of the truth, because they've got these things hidden. Don't you understand? The masses of humanity has been treated as cattle, animals, dumbos, not fit enough to know what is right and correct. It is the fire lion in this time who are saying, no, humanity is not dumb, but the creative energy create them all as creative and energetic beings, and they should all be aware of this. It's time for them to be aware of this. Because if they was all aware of this, the world would have been a different place, wouldn't it? We wouldn't have all this vile and evil that is going on now if a man was in charge of his true intelligence. You know what I mean? We would not be making such dangerous weapons and be warring against each other. By now we would have understood fully that we are one, created by the one creative energy. We would not be living in division of different races and all that, you know. That those kind of living are for backward human beings. Those whose souls are eyes have not yet opened. The living dead have created this kind of a society. Not a live being. No, far from it, man. Live being don't, you know, if you was a being that was alive, or if we just imagine that if we were beings that was alive, our society would be different. There would be no violence and evil in it, and killing and hating and richness and poorness. Because we all know, enlightened people know that the earth is rich enough already, and that the creative energy gives us everything that we need. So we can't lack anything if it's already here. You understand? But wicked men can never understand this. Greed blind them from this understanding. Just like it blind them from understanding that they cannot die. Or blind them from seeing that memory is recording their deeds and they will have to pay for the things that they do. And that we don't need any judge to find out the wrongs that they do because it's all on their memory. But because they're so dumb, they can't figure this out yet. Anyway, you know what I mean? But in this time of fire, it's not for you to worry about who figure out what or who understand what. Whether the Roman understand it or the British understand it or the American. And this is an individual. This is time for you to take responsibility for your own self, male or female, and make correction within thyself if you want to save your soul. Anyway, I and I have been firing for a while and that firing out. So what we're going to do now is school out and fire out from the firehouse. See? Fade out and fire out. Rastafari.